Good morning, everyone. I am Rose Vimal Asmiral, a BE second year college student. So, today we will be discussing about badminton. So, we all know, guys, that badminton is a sport, right? It is a sport that is being played by some athletes in different tournaments of the world. Even in school, we can play badminton, like in intramurals, division or district, provincial, Sivra and Nura. So aside from that, we can play badminton in big tournaments such as SEA Games, Olympic tournaments, or even in Tokyo Olympic tournament that is recently happened. So today, you will be learning on how badminton is being played inside the court and the three categories of playing badminton. So let's proceed to my PowerPoint presentation. Yes. So what is badminton, by the way? Badminton is a recreational and a competitive game played in single or two opposing players and doubles or two opposing formats. So badminton is a physical demanding sport that requires strength, endurance, muscular power, agility, speed endurance, aerobic power, or a capacity to rapidly accelerate and decelerate. So what is the objective of badminton, by the way? So the aim of the game is to win points by hitting a shuttlecock across the net and into your opponent's court. So this is forcing your opponent to make an error and be unable to return the shuttlecock back. Or in other words, the play begins from the right half court and players must hit the shuttlecock into the diagonal court. So now let us proceed to the history of badminton, or when it started. Badminton dates back to ancient Greece and Egypt. In Japan, the related game Hanatsuki was played as the early 16th century. In West, badminton came from a game called battledore and shuttlecock, in which two or more players keeps a feathered shuttlecock in the air with small rackets. The game was called Puna in India during 18th century. So the new sport was definitively launched in 1873 at the Badminton House, Gloucestershire. Again, that was way back 1873. The game was referred to as the game of badminton, and then the game officially became what we called badminton. So before the Badminton World Federation was established in 1934 with just 9 founding members. They are 9 founding countries that is member of BWF. So they are the England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Denmark, Holland, Canada, New Zealand, and France. So this is the logo of BWF. Now next slide. The year 1877 is a historic significance for badminton, as the Badminton Club, or the first badminton club ever, was formed, and also the first official set of rules were developed. Major international tournaments like Thomas Cup is for men, and the Uber Cup, or Uber Cup for women, started to be held. Badminton was officially granted Olympic status in the 1992 Barcelona Games. So from 9 founding members, the BWF is now, or has, 150 member countries already as of now. Now let us proceed to the facilities and equipment of badminton. The first one is racket. It is used to hit the shuttlecock. The racket is shaped like a tennis racket and has its strings but weighs much less than the tennis racket. So the frame of the racket, is including the handle, is not to exceed 680 millimeter, or equivalent into 26.75 inches in overall length. and 230 millimeter or equivalent into 9 inches in overall width. So the overall length of the head is not to exceed 290 millimeter. Most rockets are made from light man-made materials such as aluminum or graphite and are strung with synthetic materials such as nylon. It's string. So this is a sample pic of a badminton racket. So the entire frame is measured not to exceed 600 millimeter and equivalent to 26.75 inches. It measured 26.75 inches. So this is the head and a stringed area which is made up of nylon, and the throat, the tiny lock that combines the head and the shaft or handle. Then the last one is the handle. Sometimes handle is made up of foamy part because this is the part which we hold and has more force to hold. Next is the shuttlecock. Shuttlecock, or sometimes we call it shatty, birdie, or bird. Whatever it's called, it is a badminton version of tennis ball. It has a small ball at the front to give it speed and feathers producing from it to help it float when it is hit high into the air. An official shuttlecock must have 14 to 16 feathers and usually made from a goose or duck and from the left wing of the bird only. So this is a sample pic of a shuttlecock. Now let's proceed to the shoes. Special court shoes are worn to allow players to move quickly across the court and to give them traction for quick movements around. So it's so nice to see badminton shoes. I like to wear this color pink badminton shoes. Now let's proceed to the net. Net plays an important role in badminton matches. The Badminton World Federation's Law of Badminton provides specific standards for net height, width, and construction. An official badminton net must measure 5 feet high in the air or in the center and 5 feet 1 inches in the sides. The net attaches to vertical posts on either side of the court. The net should measure 30 inches from the bottom to the top and must consist of uniform, dark-colored mesh. The net should have a white tape running along to the top to make the net's full height visible to players and officials. So again, it measures at the center with 5 feet and a 5 feet and 1 inches measurement in side area. Now let us proceed to badminton court. Badminton court shall be a rectangular laid out with lines of 44 meter wide, preferably in white or yellow lane. The badminton court dimensions are of 13.4 meters in length and 6.1 meters in width. So this is the sample. Again, at 13.4 meter width, long, and 6.1 meter width, or the wideness of the court. Yes, another example. Now let us proceed to the rules of the game, the most complicated part in badminton. Now, scoring system. Every time you win a relay, you get a point. So what is the relay that we are talking about here? Now let me give an example of a relay. For example, a server serves the shuttlecock and being hit or being received by the receiver and return the shuttlecock back to the server, but the server failed or unable to return the shuttlecock back to the receiver. It means the receiver earned its point or it does not mean that since the receiver earned its point, she or he already won on the game. It does not mean. So the meaning of relay is the first pointing of the game. So next is the winner of a badminton match, a player or players who win 2 games out of 3. A game is won by being the first to reach 11, 15, and 21 points. So each game must be won by at least 2 points, and a number of systems are available for extending a game where a score of 10 to 10 or 14-14 or 20 to 20 has been reached. The server is not allowed to serve until his opponent is ready. If the opponent attempts to return service, he is deemed to have been ready. So both the server and the opponents receiving the server are required to stand so that some parts of it remains in contact with the surface of the court while in a stationary position until the server has been delivered. Every time there is a serve, there is obviously a point scored. The side winning a relay adds point to its score. At 20-all, the side which gains 2 points leads first wins the game. At 29-all, the side scoring the 30th point wins the game. When you're saying the score, always say the server's score first. The side winning game serves first in the next game. If players commit an error in the service court, the error is corrected when the mistake is discovered. Now serving. What is serving, by the way? Serving is how you start the relay. Receiving or the receiver. The person who hits the second shot in the relay. So how to serve in badminton? In badminton, the serve must be hit upward direction with an underarm hitting action. You are not allowed to play the tennis style serve. So, in playing badminton, you are not allowed to play the tennis type of serving, because in tennis, you need to throw the ball up and hit it, while in badminton, you have appropriate level of shuttlecock in doing or serving it. So you are allowed to serve or hit the shuttlecock below your waist only, not to exceed here or even here. You are just allowed to hit it or position it in or below your waist. Now let us proceed. So the next is, where are we now? Now here. So how to serve? Okay. The main role here is that when you hit the shuttle, it must be below your waist, like what I've said. To be exact, the rules define this to be a high level with the lowest part of your rib cage. In other words, you can serve from a bit higher than the top of your short, but not much. Yes. So you are not allowed to hit or position the shuttlecock merely above your shoulder or your chest. Then, serving court. Service court are smaller boxer shaped inside the court. Two service court, or what we call your right service court and your left service court. Double service court is, they are much wider because they are used to outside lane, and remember that double courts is wider and they are shorter because they use the inside back lane. How to serve, or how service court are used? The servers must stand inside a service court and the receiver must stand inside diagonal opposite service court. The serve must travel into diagonal opposite service court. Okay, I will discuss it more later. If the serve is going to land outside the service court, then the receiver should let it fall to the floor. If the receiver hits the serve, then the relay continues even if the several had been going out. The server and receiver must stay inside their service boxes until the server contacts the shuttle with his racket. After that, they can leave the boxes immediately and move anywhere on court. Deciding who gets to serve first in a major tournament, a coin toss is being used to decide which side will serve first. But in more casual club or league games, you usually just throw the shuttle up in the air and let it land and see which side it points toward the side serves first. Okay, so this is for today's video, because we cannot cope up everything in just one video. Honestly, if we are to discuss everything about badminton, it takes 1 to 2 hours discussion, just to be exact. So thank you for listening, and I hope we see each other next time. Thank you, and God bless us all.